Hello, welcome back, Viking sports followers. So we've got another interview today with Michael Georgiou, snooker player. Get to know him a bit better and also find out what he's going to be planning to do this year. So if you give me a couple of moments, I'll just get him online. Okay, so we'll just wait for him just to join, and he'll be with us in just a moment, and we'll go from there. Okay, so just waiting for him to join, and then we'll get started with the interview. Okay, just be a couple of moments. He is on his way to join. Okay, so he's just joined, so just waiting for him just to put in the request and we'll start. I'm just waiting for him just to connect, so hopefully it won't be too long. Hello, Mike, you all right?
Hello, how are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. How have you been?
Yeah, not too bad. Probably like everyone else, just not really doing too much
Yeah,
at the moment with everything going on, but
yeah,
trying to make the best of a bad situation, you know?
yeah, no, definitely. So, thank you for joining us today. Obviously,
No,
we
thank you for
want
having me on.
to get to know you a bit better and see what hopefully you got planned for this year and where you want to see yourself. So, just to start off with, how was it that you actually got involved with snooker and started off in snooker?
Oh, you're going back a while now. If memory serves me right, it was probably around like the age of 9. I first started playing on the big tables. My parents told me from like the ages of 2, 3, I was showing interest in the sport.
Yeah,
Probably saw it on TV and the colours intrigued me or whatever. But yeah, and then I just, like everything that you enjoy doing, I just kept going with it and found myself, you know, in a professional situation and traveling around for tournaments and everything. Yeah,
yeah.
been quite a journey.
And obviously, with at the moment, obviously, you're not on the pro circuit at this stage. So, with respect of that, is that something that you're working towards getting back onto the circuit, either this year or potentially next season?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the last 5, 6 years of playing and competing and practicing and traveling and I've really, really enjoyed it. It's become quite addictive. So, I'm absolutely gutted that I'm not on the tour this year.
Yeah,
And all right, at the moment, I can't really practice because, coronavirus has closed down everything where I am based now. But as soon as everything's back open, I'm going to be back on the practice table and hopefully come Q school,
yeah,
hopefully it does go ahead.
yeah. No, fingers.
Hopefully I can get back on the tour and start showing my ugly face everywhere.
And when you were on the pro circuit, what was your favourite tournament that you were actually involved in?
Wow. It's a really tough question. I think every tournament kind of had its own special aspects about each other.
Yeah.
Playing in the Crucible was like a dream come true.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I kind of feel sorry for the guys that qualified last year for the first time, because there was no crowds. The
Yeah.
atmosphere was absolutely electric when there was crowds. Same again with the German Masters. The Tempodrome's amazing. The shootout I've got great memories about.
Yeah.
That atmosphere was
Yeah.
great. And I mean, even with the China tournaments, you go over there and it's, I don't know, you feel like a celebrity with
Yeah.
with all the red carpet treatment you get, and it's just nice. And the characters on the tour, I miss everyone dearly,
Yeah.
and I'm looking forward to getting back and see everyone.
Yeah, no, definitely. And is there anyone in particular that you really get along with on the tour? Obviously, we've spoken to many snooker players now, and everyone seems to obviously get along with everyone. But is there anyone that actually sticks out to you that has helped you on the tour and that you're really good friends with?
I mean, I can't really narrow it down to one, but in the most recent years, Mark Allen's been, a great friend, and he is an absolute class player, class person. I can't speak highly enough of him.
Yeah.
He's probably helped me the most in the last couple of years. But as I've moved around practicing in different places, and each person has kind of given me their help and their expertise, and but for me, Mark Allen stands out. But I miss so many faces
Yeah.
on the tour, the long list, but
Yeah.
can't really go into narrow them down.
Yeah. And when you played your first professional game, how was it that you actually handled that pressure, or was it something that the adrenaline just got helped you through that?
Well, my first year as a professional, when I was 20 years old, I actually went a whole season without winning a match. So the
Wow.
pressure and everything didn't really, I didn't handle it that well.
Yeah.
But when I got back on the tour a few years back later, it was a lot different. I was a bit more educated and I could deal with things a bit better. And yeah, you just try to not focus on winning and losing, and just enjoy it a bit more. And
Yeah.
you put your practice in, and that's really enough.
Yeah.
Well, usually hasn't been for me the last year or so. But
And there be anything for the amateur players that obviously follow us and hopefully some more over this year? Is there anything that you would give as a tip to be able to, hopefully when they become professional, to help them going into their first season?
yeah, I mean, the only really advice snooker's one of those games. There's no real shortcuts. You have to kind of put the hours in and practice all aspects of the game, and there's never really enough hours.
Yeah.
But I think it's very important to not let the pressure of winning matches and ranking points, affect you and distract you from what you're actually doing on the table at that point. You need to kind of like take one game at a time and just enjoy what you're doing. And everyone knows how to make a century break on the tour, so
Yeah.
there's no reason why you can't do it.
Yeah.
You only stop yourself, really.
Yeah, definitely. And with respect of obviously your time playing, obviously you've played some incredible players along your career so far. Which one actually stands out to you?
Oh, what a question. I mean, I've played Ronnie O'Sullivan. Everyone knows the name. He's stood out. He's probably the best ever. That's what everyone's talking about. That was a real pleasure to share a table with him, and I'm lucky to have lived in the same generation where he was competing as well.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on. John Higgins, again, he's phenomenal to watch, and I've got a lot of respect for John as well.
Yeah.
Literally, like everyone at the top, I've been lucky enough to play with them, and I've enjoyed it, even though they've absolutely destroyed me most of the time. But it's been enjoyable.
Yeah. And with regards to what I consider to be the most entertaining snooker that's out there, is the shootout. How was your experience with that? Because obviously the crowd is just not like any other snooker event that's out there. To some extent, you could probably say it's a rowdy crowd, beer in hand, and really enjoying. Because obviously you get to see so many different players. How did you actually find your experience at the shootout? Obviously, despite winning but how did you?
Well, yeah, it was a great experience winning it, and I remember at the time it was kind of, I weren't even I had like an out of body experience. I was just on autopilot. You've got the shot clock in the background constantly, so you haven't
Yeah,
really got time to think. I'm infamous for being an overthinker and talking myself out of shots that I might or should go for, shall I say? But that weekend, everything just kind of fell into place. I was just going for my shots. The balls were going in, and at the end of the weekend, I was lifting a trophy, even
yeah,
though I very nearly threw away like £16,000 in the space of 5 minutes.
yeah,
But Graham's a class player, and I was shootout titles with me forever now.
yeah, yeah, no, definitely. And obviously, you mentioned there the clock that applies within the shootout.
Hmm.
The pressure of that. Was you practicing leading up to that, or is it something that you naturally try to do within snooker? Obviously, there's a bit more time, obviously, with taking shots, but is that something you do?
Yeah, probably most snooker players won't admit it, but I think leading up to the shootout, everyone just tries to play a bit quicker, do a few frames, just
Yeah,
try to play as fast as you can. But I remember that year I was kind of using the buzzer to, I'd get down before the buzzer would go off, and
yeah,
then when I heard the buzzer, then I'd get ready to take my shot.
yeah,
Um, but I don't know, it's really weird. There's a lot of luck
yeah,
in that tournament. I feel very lucky that I've won it, and there's some great players that haven't won it yet.
yeah,
But it's an entertaining tournament. And to be honest, I wish there was more of them
yeah,
because they're really fun to watch. And there's so much that happens in such a short space of time.
yeah. No,
That,
I think it's a
yeah,
good tournament to introduce people to start following snooker, because there's not a lot of young people that follow snooker as as there should be. I
yeah,
don't know if that's due to the speed of the game, or the amount of frames. Personally, I could sit there all day and watch snooker, but I
yeah,
agree with you in the sense that it would be good to introduce more sort of style tournaments like the shootout, because it's so
yeah.
entertaining and you get to see pretty much all of the players that that are on the tour, and ones that get the wild card as well.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, a mini series or something like that would be,
Yeah,
excellent for the shootout. But then you have to take into consideration the players traveling to go to that event, or for potentially playing for 10 minutes.
yeah,
Um, but if you was going to get someone involved in a new sport, I think showing them the best bits of it, which I think the shootout highlights
yeah.
really, really well. Um, I mean, for example, if you was going to introduce someone to cricket, you wouldn't show them a test series, would you?
No,
You'd show them like a 2020 game, wouldn't you?
yeah, no, definitely.
It's short, it's exciting, and yeah, no, I love watching it. I'll watch it all day.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
Talking, this year, obviously, when we can, obviously, lockdown situation is not easy for anyone in any sort of country at the moment, and getting out on the table. What is
Mm.
it that you're going to be looking to work on this year, and then rolling into potentially next year as well?
Well, to be honest, it'd just be nice to get on the table and hit a few balls
Yeah,
about. It's been about 6 weeks since I picked up a cue last, because they've closed down the place that I was playing at.
yeah,
But yeah, no, I mean, just once that's opened up, I'll get my practice back in. And, if like I said, if Q School does go ahead, I'll probably send myself to England to an academy for, 2, 3 weeks, and then
yeah,
sharpen up for the event.
yeah, no,
And then hopefully I could get back on the tour.
yeah,
But
fingers crossed.
yeah, 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 I've really missed competing and playing and seeing everyone.
Yeah, and with that, obviously, Q Sport, are you able to give us a bit of an understanding as to what that how that works, just for the amateurs when they're looking
How
to
do you mean?
utilize?
The Q School.
Yeah, just how it works going into Q School, and what happens there.
I mean, it is brutal. It's not for the light-hearted. It's just literally a series of 3 tournaments, straight knockout. Um, you've got world-class amateurs come in playing in the event. You've also got the professionals that have dropped off, which in my experience, I've found, because I've been in that situation on both sides, I find being the player dropping off the main tour playing in the Q School to have tons more pressure than the amateur that's been building up to it.
Yeah,
It's very brutal, but it's good fun as well,
yeah,
and the reward at the end of it is, once you do hit that semi-final spot, you've got your 2 years to play on the main tour and hopefully collect as much money as you can.
yeah, no, definitely. And leading up to that, obviously, is there a lot of practice? Is there anything in like specifically that you look to improve on, or is it just once you get back on that practice table, seeing what you need to potentially improve and work on?
Yeah, it's weird. You can't really adjust how you practice per tournament because
Yeah,
you should be playing the same sort of game every event you play, and that's why the top players are so good because they don't, regardless of the situation, they'll just keep playing their game that they know how to do and that they've practiced hours upon hours to do.
yeah,
Um, yeah, no, you just put the hours in, just draw the hours in
yeah,
as much, but good hours, like test yourself in practice and be strict with
yeah.
yourself.
And is within your practice regime, is it you and you on a table, or is it you and that you get people in that are either amateur or pro just to try and get that proper frames where you're up against someone, so that there's a little bit of pressure working on the table?
Yeah, it's good to have a mix. I think there's you could do a lot on your own, but at the same time, if you can get a player that can punish you as well on the table, that's quite important.
Yeah,
Playing the last year with Mark Allen, I had enough of that, so it was kind of nice to come over to Cyprus and play on my own for a bit.
yeah,
Yeah, no, it's weird. Yeah, I think it's healthy to get both. You're going to be playing someone
yeah,
in Q school, so you might as well get that practice of being in the match
yeah, no,
and treating it like you are in the tournament. You can't really change the way you play
yeah,
just because you're not playing in a tournament.
yeah, definitely. And if there was one tip to give to an amateur starting out, within snooker, what would that be, and the reason why?
Didn't really expect that question, to be honest. The only I could only really say is just stay focused on what your goal is. Don't get upset. It's literally just a game at the end of the day, so it's no point getting upset
Yeah,
about it. Just enjoy it. If you enjoy snooker, don't let the game upset you to the point where you don't enjoy it.
yeah,
If I'm going to be honest, the last year that I had last season, all right, coronavirus came into it, but I was not enjoying snooker at all, and
okay.
it's actually been really, really nice not playing for a bit.
Yeah,
But now I've been watching a bit on the TV, and that I've been seeing familiar faces, and that it's kind of I'm getting my hunger back slowly.
yeah,
But it has been wonderful just not playing, and my days involve walking down the beach with a coffee and taking in the sunshine, so I'm not complaining about it.
yeah, it's perfect. Well, I wish you all the best for this year, and I hope we can see you back on the tour soon. And hopefully we can get fans back in and come along and support you, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely, that'd be wonderful. And I wish you all the best with your promotions company as well. So
Well, thank you very much.
hopefully 2021's a lot better.
Lovely. Thank you very much, and all the best. Okay.
Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.